Hi,
Hello, how are you doing?
how are you? Good. Thank you. I'm just joining in basically as a passive listener. Just want to hear some news regarding the project.
Okay, good. We'll wait a couple of minutes to see if other folks will join, and then we'll get started.
Hey guys.
Hi,
Hey, hello. Oh, Thomas, welcome. How
hi, thank you. Hi,
you doing?
good. How are you?
Doing good as well. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes, same.
All right. I guess we probably can get started, and then other folks can jump in. It's always recorded, so
Yep.
it'd be okay. I'm going to share my screen. One of the things that we did since the last community meeting is move the agenda to Markdown. The the PR hasn't been merged yet, so I'll just share the local version of it. It shouldn't be any kind of a problem, but let's see. Yeah, there we go. Can everybody see that?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and I guess if you do it in Markdown, we should merge it after the meeting because there is a huge potential of extension of the Markdown during the conversation, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So here's today anyway.
You
Yeah.
convert it all,
Yeah, yeah,
all?
the whole thing is converted. You
Oh,
can
wow. Oh, okay, okay.
I even fixed some numbering because these old meetings were kind of some of the numbering was
Impressive.
off and the dates were off.
All right.
Anyway, so today's the 83rd more or less biweekly community meeting. As Yuri pointed out, we'll have to add the recording and the attendee list here. So, but we get all that stuff from Linux Foundation anyway. So, yeah, so it's been moved to Markdown. The community meetings are also they some of them were on YouTube already, but we hadn't done it in a while. So we're going to get better at doing that. So if you
Cool.
click on that link, you'll go to the YouTube channel and you can watch this again in the evening if you want to. So some KubeCon news. Looks like Yuri and Nuno had a talk accepted there. One talk was waitlisted. Nuno, I think we said in the last one, Nuno from MBCP is going to deliver the lightning talk. And some of my many non-accepted talks will probably be turned into some kind of a blog post or so. Um, if there's at any moment something you want to talk about or you want to just stop me, okay, if you have a question. So otherwise, I just go down through the list here.
So, rejects was already is it like submitted or did you get a feedback from rejects on Amsterdam?
Not yet, not
Ah,
yet,
not
but
yet. Okay.
it's been
Yeah, yeah.
open.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been open for some time. I saw a LinkedIn post this morning that it's open now. I guess it is still open, but I don't know what that actually meant. So
Yeah, just in case, if you will be around KubeCon in any case, Thomas, are you going to be around?
Probably not. I mean, I don't have a ticket, so
No. Yeah, so it's just about regex, right? So it's pretty nice kind of pre-conference for the people who are not getting accepted to the main track or collocated track to the main event in general. So I experienced it last time in London, and it was like the venue was super cool, and I really enjoyed this additional day. So uh, just just to share the experience that this mini conference before the KubeCon is worth joining. So yeah, can highly
yeah.
recommend.
Oh, never heard of that. We'll check it out.
Mm, no. Yeah. Otherwise, from KubeCon attendance, I will have two talks there. One with Nuna. from Millennium BCP, another one from with Florian from Allianz. Both are crossplane related actually. So k8gb talks will be only Lightning talk, hopefully Country Fest. Hopefully Country Fest will be accepted. Do you remember, Bradley, when we will get feedback on this collocated, not collocated, but
I
project events?
I have to look again.
Mm,
What I saw before was
mm,
January 6th, which is
yeah.
yesterday. So
Yeah, and so like for Country Fest, if it's accepted, we'll have a good chance to kind of extend the participation list a little bit. But again, the limitation is unclear, right? From a CNCF perspective, I think it was like somehow vague, like if you apply with 3 mails or something, or more than 3 mails in a list, then we will reject just by default. So that's why I think we applied with, I don't remember with whom, with Nuno or with you, Bradley. I really don't remember. Too many applications.
yeah,
And
there were a lot
so,
of applications
yeah,
made.
yeah. So like, so we played it safe. Maybe with Andre. Yeah. So we played it safe and applied it with like a two of us. But I recall in one country fest, I was able to officially invite at least +1. So we'll see how it goes. It never hurts just to ask NCF, okay, guys, like because we have a relatively huge attendance in a country fest, and in Atlanta, we actually like 3 of us helping people. I was like driving, and Fabrizio and Irjit, they just joined at Hawk, right? Without any, they were around and they helped people with the setup. So that was cool, right? I mean, that setup works. So I think we can propose it. And where I'm getting with that, like if you do it officially, you'll get +1 free ticket. So just in case, you'll see. But it's quite early to discuss, to be honest, because we still need a main country first confirmation first, and then we will see how it goes. It's not guaranteed that it will happen, right? So yeah. Otherwise, Lightning talk, and we will have also, we are waiting for confirmation for kiosk as well. Kiosk is very important, yeah. Cool. We can proceed with the next topic.
Yep. Yep. Okay, so then the next thing is we had on Monday, I think it was. Yes, Monday we had our incubation kickoff with the TOC. So that was a very good step toward getting incubation settled. We were told it's usually about 3 months from where we are now until we're actually incubating, and this is mostly due to folks' availability because everybody's a volunteer, right? And adopter reviews. So two of those adopter reviews, I believe Emily has already reached out to two folks, and so she's trying to get those scheduled. But generally, they want three altogether. I think we have 6 or 7 public adopters on there now. So we have to wait and see how that plays out. They have to find folks who are available and talk with them. But that usually takes a while. Also, if there's something on the incubation application which isn't up to date, like licensing and governance stuff. So those are the kind of things that I'm going to look at this week a bit just to make sure that we filed the application a little while ago. And so I have to look at it again and make sure that it's still the current state on there so that when folks who are auditing the application go through, they don't click on something that doesn't go anywhere, or they click on something and waste time. Um, but this is, I mean, this is a great step that we've made here. So I'm really happy about it. We're probably not going to be incubating before KubeCon Amsterdam, but we're going to try to get as much done as possible then because there's always a 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after that everything's closed off with these applications, right? There's a blackout period. So if we don't get it done before then, it'll be a little while after that. Um, I'll let Yuri talk about this more, but we did have that Christmas release with the Gateway API support. I don't know why that W is capitalized. So, but yeah, there's a couple of links here to the full release notes and some resource reference examples. If you want to say something, Yuri, there, since you pushed it.
Yeah, so we finally closed this milestone of adding gateway API support thanks to Andre, who actually provided like a set of initial PRs. I picked it up during the Christmas time and tested them end to end, like polished some of them, fixed some minor issues, and all of them actually works. So with all these gateway API resources, they actually have different level of maturity. Like HTTP route is, I think, gateway V1, TLS route it's still kind of alpha stuff, but all of them just working, right? So like, thanks to our nice extension mechanism that still requires some code, but pretty much constrained. It was pretty quick iteration to test to add in and test all of them one to one, and we have a pretty we should brag about it, right? So that now we not limited to the standard ingresses. Now we support all the modern stuff, and yeah, there is this different structure a little bit. So So for example, in HTTP route, you have a direct way to figure out the host name, right, from the structure of the resource, similar to ingress. So that's what we are doing there. But for example, in a TCP route, there is no FQDN DNS name domain, and then we use a special annotation. And that's what we used before on a service, standard classic service of type load balancer. So we are using the similar mechanism. So it's nicely this previous iteration of adding core service support helped us with this iteration as well. So yeah, it's all available, accessible. And now the question, when is the next release, Bradley? I don't know now. Like we break the schedule for the good, but now now I'm not sure when to release next. At
I
least
thought
when
we were
we should
moving to a
expect.
daily release cycle.
Yeah, that might be nice. Yeah. Yeah, maybe a little bit to the previous topic of the incubation. So definitely cool progress there. And we waited for more than 1 year for this process to start, and we are super happy about this fact, right? So that's kind of achievement by itself. And for adopters interviews, thanks a lot, Bradley, for organizing all this stuff, coordinating all the context, great job there. For a recommendation checks the licensing, good stuff. I think FOSSA actually does this for us somehow semi-automatically. I think it should actually raise everything is incompatible. So I think we are good there. Just by embedding the pipeline, just lightly double check that, but we should be good. Governance is something to maybe investigate and see how other graduated projects or incubating projects are doing it, because currently it's I think it's still in initial kind of shape where there is one project lead, myself there, and with the final decision making. And I think in case of incubating, we already should we should not complicate that, but we might think about creating this kind of minimalistic steering committee, this kind of stuff. So whatever is best practice in CNCF. Make sense? And we can invite to steering committee core maintainers plus adopters, right? So I definitely have a Michal, Dinar, and Nuna in mind as this kind of diverse group, right? So really folks who are contributing to the project for real while interested in success, and yeah, it's kind of organic representation of the structure. Yeah.
Definitely. All right, I'm going to jump ahead to the community update thing real quick, just so I can get it done, and then we'll go into the issue stuff. So, we're still working on these getting started videos. I have a couple of vanity stats, which I promised before. Uh, but I wanted to say we've started inviting folks to follow k8gb more, right? So we did get a lot of new followers since the last meeting. So we've gotten 60 new followers on k8gb. That's pretty good considering where we are right now, right? We've got I think 230 followers at the moment. That's really increased recently, and 60 in the last month. So during the holidays. So it's 10.5% in the last week, about 20% more page visits in the last week, 106% search appearances. This is, I think, driven by that we're posting more, right? So we're getting more people looking at things on LinkedIn. There were 5 posts on LinkedIn since the last community meeting, and they have pretty good click-through rate. I'm not an expert at this, but what I've read is if you have a click-through rate of more than 1%, you're good. Sorry, I just lost my monitor. Hold on. Where did that go? Okay. Yeah, I've lost I can't see anything. Hold on. Let me see if I can find something here.
You can see your screen, so be careful with switching.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can't find anything. It's on a different monitor and I can't get the monitor back. That's very strange. Okay. Well, let me see if I can see this. Can I move it to a different monitor? This is very strange. It's what well, having technical difficulty. Okay, let me try to figure out what's happening here because I actually can't even get back in there to my monitor. I don't know what's happening. Give me just a minute to try to come back in.
Sure. We can chat about other stuff for a while. So much
Yeah,
like
give me a minute. I can't even get, I don't know what's happening. I can't get anything to come up here. Hold on. Um,
Thomas, did you manage to find something like, in a project to contribute, some interesting part or use in your project? Like, uh,
Well, yeah, but the others don't know we met. I met
mm,
with Yuri a few months ago.
mm,
I'm building. It's more of a hobby project at the moment. I'm building a CDN in my spare time, and I'm doing a lot of similar things that you are doing. So basically, I'm not using k8gb in my core, but I'm sort of building my own core DNS plugins as well. Yeah, so I've talked to Yuri to see if there is anything we could help each other. And yeah, I mean, I have a few ideas which I already have implemented. So the question is if that's something that would be interesting for you.
mm,
I mentioned that I have a sort of a DNS-based routing using IPv4 and IPv6 prefixes, where you can
mm,
define with the CRD basically like what prefixes should be routed to which destination. So that's something I already have implemented. And I also have currently, I know that this is something on your roadmap already. Like I have an external agent that is able to do health checks on
mm,
remote endpoints, so not on the same cluster. So let's say you
mhm,
run the DNS on one cluster and you want to redirect your traffic to a remote cluster, so not to the service or ingress that's running on the same cluster. But technically, I have an agent that is basically just doing a simple HTTP GET at the moment or HTTPS and is patching the CRD status. And that is automatically gets propagated
mm.
into the core DNS since the resources are batched through an informer. So that's what basically, if that would be interesting for you, or you think that could be interesting for someone in the community, that's probably I could contribute to. But
Yeah,
at this point, it's not necessarily as like a super high requirement. Then yeah, I just that's sort of why I wanted to join today, just to tell you this that that's something basically I could contribute.
no, that definitely sounds interesting, and this is functionality that was at least I got a couple of requests, questions in a kiosk in after the talks, right? So for this standalone end-to-end checks, right? So definitely our in-cluster state is cool, and you can rely on the props, and you can make the pod props, the standard ones like readiness and liveness checks, as complex and sophisticated as you like. So people like that, but sometimes you need this end-to-end reality check still, right? So
Yes.
it amends the picture nicely. So yeah, that sounds like a very interesting addition. And for this agent that you mentioned, and you patch the CRD, so does it mean that agent, like I don't know, it makes like kind of pink style, right? Or like end-to-end HTTP check, and then it has access to the cluster and patch the associated
Uh,
resource,
so,
or
so my setup is currently different. So you
mm,
terminate the endpoints basically on the same cluster where the
mm,
k8gb is running.
yeah.
My use case is a bit different. So I have 2 or 3 clusters running the DNS and several other locations and clusters which are running
You
the
have a control
endpoints.
cluster. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm,
Well, I wouldn't call it control. I would call it as a routing cluster, sort of.
Yeah, okay.
So that's running a DNS.
Mm-hmm,
I have a lot more caching endpoints,
mm-hmm.
which I need to remotely check. So my setup is a bit different in this
Mm.
sense.
But interesting, like, if you can drop down maybe some like a issues design proposed, that would be cool to think like
Okay.
how we can implement it in
Yes.
KGB.
Right.
Yeah, and definitely like this prefix routing you mentioned, that's something that can potentially enhance our GOP strategy. Is that correct? Or
Yes,
will it be, yeah?
that's
Yeah.
something which should be interesting. I think
Yeah.
probably someone running an ISP who has like
Yeah.
correct concrete list of IP addresses that I know
Mm,
that these IP prefixes I want to be terminated in this data center
mm,
because that's made a lot more sense to me.
mm. Right.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
so
but
currently we are populating GeoIP, this MaxMind compatible database with
yeah.
this network slices. Kind of, we need to
Yes.
prepare some.
So yeah, my routing logic is sort of similar. So I start with prefix routing. If there
Mm,
is a prefix matching that I will try to route the client to that location.
mm-hmm,
And if there is no healthy node, then it does a fallback. And yeah, if there is no prefix to that certain IP for that client, then I'm falling back to geolookup.
mm-hmm. Got it. Yeah, that's cool stuff. Interesting. Yeah, so let's definitely open to your contribution and collaboration. Like, super happy about it. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate it.
Cool.
Uh, Looks like Bradley is back with his monitors.
Yeah, found my way back. Okay, cool. I'll have to look at the recording to catch that part of the conversation that I missed. I don't know. You want to start back on the PR review or
Yeah,
something else someone wants to
yeah.
talk about? Okay.
Let's get back to the
All right,
standard
let's get
agenda
back
and finalize it. Yeah.
to this one here. I think. No, this one here. Yeah, that's all right. Can you see it here?
Yes.
Good, 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 good. Okay, so yeah, so we'll go back here. I already talked about the community stuff, just showing that there's a fairly high click-through rate. There's not a lot of impressions, but a high click-through rate. So
There is also increase in the GitHub stars as well.
yeah, yeah.
So
I
like
didn't
in
put that on here, but there's a good increase in the
yeah,
stargazers. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. There we go. So merged and closed since last time, there were 5 issues that were merged or closed. One was closed as not any more relevant. But yeah, this geodata file and geodata field, data file path field core DNS issue here. These are I've got links to all of these so you can click on them.
Mhm.
And if there's something that you wanted to talk about, Yuri or Farhan, that you've done in here, just speak up. But at the moment, it's just a list of things that were closed since the last time, and a few things that we were gonna um, someone was going to look at which are still in the same status as last time. So I don't know. Dinar's not here. I don't know who's on these other issues. I didn't look, but is there something in this list that anybody wants to talk about?
Yeah, I know that Dinar was pushing some commits to Dynamic Zones branch
Okay.
during the Christmas time, so there is some progress there, but it's still in works. And yeah, Farhan, thanks a lot for all your contributions and persistence and going through like having patience and going through my reviews. I really appreciate it. So I know it takes time. Is there anything that you think is a reviewable, like mergeable state right now that so I can review this week?
Yeah, I think it's a OCI thing that we need to test in separate
Hmm.
pipeline. If
Cool.
that goes well, we can merge it with upcoming release. So I hope OCI
Yeah.
curse ends this time.
Yeah, yeah, that's a long story, but yeah, that's cool to get a experience with that, right? So yeah, I
Right.
appreciate it. Hope there.
Um, Then the rollback procedures for our latest versions, release versions, that's in work in progress. And I'll create PR by end of the day today. And apart from that, yes, the incubation DTR testing different Kubernetes versions.
Hmm.
So I have done few experiments, but I have the same result. I couldn't deploy the the clusters GSLV1, GSLV2, and SDNS with default K3D. Although I used one heavy test label, only 1.34, 1.32, and 33. I still couldn't deploy with default K3D version. Then I overridden other K3D versions. It's still the same result. So I'm stuck there. If that's closed, I think the incubation testing thing is done pretty
Hmm.
much.
So it is an older versions, or because the
Yes,
standard deploy full local setup works, right? I think I tested it with this recent iteration
I
heavily.
mean, surprisingly, it works with local setup, but
Hmm.
it doesn't work in GitHub workflow.
So something is the pipeline. So we might double check the GitHub action for K3D that Michael created. Maybe there's like, some mismatch. The K3D evolves, right? So like we might, uh, it used to be before that some, even like a CLI API was incompatible in newer versions. So that's something like that, yeah. You can double check.
Yeah. And yeah,
Yeah,
that's it from my side.
cool. Thanks a lot, Farhan. Really appreciate
I
it.
hope you like the blog.
Yeah, blog stuff. Yeah, Bradley, if you can open our fancy website, we can demonstrate it live. Yeah, so we have now two main sections, documentation and blog, and yeah, we can add the full blog post and markdown. I heard you like markdown, Bradley, so feel free to add some blog posts. Yeah, actually, like maybe we should put the community meetings there somewhere as well, in the same style. Might be useful, easy to access. Uh, as it's all markdown, right? And Bradley, like while you on the website, if you click the latest release in GitHub, in the top, yeah, this guy, it's related to the latest PRs, right? So if you click on the latest 0.17 release on the right, and if you scroll the changelog to the bottom, you see we have another release with a good number of new contributors. So it's like kind of not obvious, but I'm super happy about this fact. So is the last one was also substantial. So like we have a new folks contributing like even like a small pieces, but the overall contributor released is growing. We have a pretty good net growth. So like yeah, that's cool stuff. Observe. And this is period is like it's shorter than a standard quarter, right? It's just a couple of months. So nice. So you can add this stuff to the vanity metrics, by the way.
Poor new contributors. Yep. It was selected metrics from LinkedIn, but yeah, there's
Yeah,
there's a
okay.
lot of there's a lot of other things that we could
Yeah.
look at, right? So um yeah, so we got a couple. Oh no, we're at the time here. So yeah, there's a few issues here that we wanted to review. There's 67 open issues. We probably want to take a look at those and prune things
Yeah.
at some point. And there's a couple other issues that are in review here, but I think we're at the time. So thank you everybody for coming today. I'll post the recording as soon as I have it, and I'll let everybody know that it's there. And yeah, hope you have a great day.
Thank you so much, guys. Tomasz,
Cheers.
if you still didn't, please join our Slack and CNCF and ping us anytime
I already
for
did.
collaboration. Cool. Amazing. Thank you, guys. Cheers.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Cheers.
Bye
Bye.
bye.